Hello YouTube, I am the Gray Mystic. In this video, I'm going to discuss shadow work. And is it the same as the dark side, or is it something different? If this is something that interests you, stay tuned. The late psychologist and Gray Mystic, Carl Jung, said, "I must also have a dark side if I am to be whole." What exactly is this dark side? Carl Jung called this the shadow aspect, or the shadow side. And shadow work is the process that he came up with to explore the shadow. Now, in his idea and understanding of the shadow, he was not talking about light versus darkness, in so much as it was two different sides of a duality that were fighting against each other. He wasn't talking about dark consciousness and light consciousness like we do when we talk about force users. What he was speaking of is anything that is not in the light of awareness, consciousness. So I am not conscious of something in my life that is dark to me. It is a shadow aspect of myself. If I am aware of something, then that is also an aspect of myself, but it is a light aspect of myself. I am aware of this, therefore I am conscious of it, therefore it is light to me. There is light on it. I see it. But if I cannot see it because it is in darkness, that is a shadow aspect. And shadow work is the process of going into the self and discovering these unconscious dark aspects of ourself so that we can shine the light of awareness on them. The more that we unravel our dark closets and shine light into them, the more that we become conscious and less unconscious in all aspects of our life. Somebody who devotes themselves to a lifetime to the process of shadow work, which we call emotional processing. Really, what we do as emotional processing is shadow work. We are clearing up all those dark areas of ourself. Now, if I have a light disposition in my body as I'm here on this earth, then my shadow side are going to be all those things, those dark aspects of me. Now, if I am a dark being, then all those light aspects of me are what I'm going to be my shadow side. Those good things that I don't want to see about me. The compassion, the mercy, the kindness. Those things that I perceive as weakness, that is my shadow side. Now, on the other side, those things that are like parasitic and evil and wrong, that is my shadow side, because I don't want to believe that that's a part of me. Those jerks, those parasites, the occultists, the dark side, the light, whoever those enemies are, the Republicans, the Democrats, this party, that party, all of that are those things about us that we don't want to see. They're unresolved aspects of ourself. We have not shone the light of awareness onto them. We do not yet have knowledge of these aspects of ourselves, and we do not yet have understanding of these aspects of ourselves. And even if we do have a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of understanding, we have not resolved the conflicts between our knowledge and understanding sufficiently enough to actually bring unity to them. Because when there is no more contradictions and they are in unity, then we have wisdom. Wisdom is right action. Wisdom is actions that build upon actions, that build upon, that build, that build, that build. So this is what shadow work means. And I do emotional processing, and I've talked about emotional processing quite often. What we call emotional processing is shadow work, where we integrate critical thinking via the trivia method of asking questions, where we integrate the 7 Hermetic principles, especially cause and effect, vibration, as above, so below, and a few others, and process our emotions and our triggers as they arise. That's all there is to it. So the dark side that Carl Jung refers to is not the same as the dark side as a force disposition, a consciousness disposition. It is a little bit different. Just like he had the collective unconscious, and that is not the same as our unconscious mind. Our unconscious mind is our feelings. It is the generative principle that does things automatically. For example, I drive a car automatically now. When I'm driving, it's not a big deal. I don't have to think about it because I understand how to drive a car. It's now in my unconscious mind and is habit. It's easy. It's reflexive. I don't have to think about it because I understand it. That's what logic brings. Understanding brings this comfort and familiarity. That is the unconscious mind. The collective unconscious is not that. The collective unconscious is those things about ourselves that are in this pool of all beings, and all beings are not aware of this stuff. It is like this living organism that all people connect into that is a part of each other. And this is how we're all one, is through this unconscious, at least in an enmeshed way. And it is our job to individuate ourselves out of that through shadow work so that we can become more and more and more conscious and less programmed. So when there's a television show in America, you're going to see the same television show in Europe and the same television show, at least the pattern of that show, you're going to see now in Australia or something like that. You're going to see similar news themes going through. You're going to have a refugee crisis in Australia. At the same time, you're going to have a refugee crisis in Europe. At the same time, you're going to have a refugee crisis in America. Because they're all linked. They're manipulating the collective unconscious of the planet at the same time. Because if you did one here and one there and one there at different times, the occultists wouldn't be nearly as successful manipulating the collective unconscious. They have to gain momentum and gain steam by having more and more people focusing on these issues, these false dilemmas, and they manipulate the collective unconscious all at the same time. But our job is to go through, the refugee crisis bothers me. I'm on this side of it. No, I'm on that side of it. Well, what you start doing is you start going into your feelings. My connection to the collective unconscious is being manipulated. How can I individuate myself out of that mess? I'm going to look at the problem within myself. I'm going to see where this darkness lies within me. That part of myself I don't want to believe exists. That part of myself the part of me that feels guilty, ashamed, or afraid, whatever it might be. That part of me I need to analyze and correct those root assumptions with shadow work so that then I can have a better understanding of myself. The more that I understand myself, my unconscious mind, the better that I'm going to be able to interact now apart from the collective unconscious, because I'm now aware, I'm conscious of it. Hopefully that cleared up any misconceptions about the difference between Carl Jung's shadow side and the forced disposition of the dark side. I am the Gray Mystic. Please leave your questions in the comment section below. If you liked my video, please click like. If you haven't already subscribed, please feel free to subscribe. Be well.